What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Volleyball Podcast, talking UTRGV Vaqueros football here in their inaugural season. My name is Bryan Ramos.
And I'm Ivan Palacios and Brian, we're back, 1 week off from UTRGV football and the boys are back in action and ready to go. I mean, you've been out to a practice already. Tell me what kind of the vibe is right now heading into this next conference game, man.
Yeah, UTRGV, they played their first six games, and then they had their bye week this past week, and now they're back in at full speed ahead, man. A 6 game stretch that's going to be definitely have their work cut out for them. But the vibes at practice were good. I think Vaqueros are healthy coming into the second half of their season. Bye week came at a right time for them, and they had last week off, had the weekend off, so they've been back at it. Got back at work yesterday, and uh, full week this week. So it'll be interesting to see how they look when they take the field Saturday against the Lamar Cardinals as they continue Southland Conference play. But Ivan, I mean, the Vaqueros, they're 5-1, 1-1 in Southland Conference play. Again, receiving votes in the American Football Coaches Association poll, receiving 10 points there in that poll. So, Ivan, just your thoughts on the Vaqueros start here at the midway mark as they get ready to start that second half of the season.
You couldn't have asked for a better start to the first half of the season. I mean, 6 games, 5 wins, one loss came against a really tough opponent. I mean, just an amazing start for this program as a whole, and to be receiving votes on your first year. I mean, it's impressive to say the least. And this team is good. I'll say it. They're a good team. And they're solid. They have some veteran leadership. I mean, obviously, there's still some growing pains you're going to experience as a first year team, but they're a lot better than a lot of people would have predicted. The haters are still talking. They can beat whoever. The haters are still going to keep talking. But in my opinion, this team is really good. They're playing really good football. And like you mentioned, the bye week couldn't have come at a better time for this team. They're getting healthy now for this second half. Hopefully to make some noise down the stretch here in the final 6 games of the first ever season.
Yeah, it's been impressive. I mean, uh, they've already shown they can win on the road against a D1 team. They did it against Prairie View. They showed they can win in the Southland Conference by beating Houston Christian. So now, I mean, we know that they can compete in the Southland Conference. It's just how good will they be able to compete? Will they be able to sustain it? They're 1-1. There's 10 Southland Conference teams there. Right now, there's three at the top that are 2-0. There's four teams in the middle that are 1-1. UTRGV is right there in that mix at 1-1, and three teams 0-2 in Southland Conference play. So UTRGV firmly in the mix of it. I don't know how many people thought they'd be able to compete in the Southland in year one, but here they are. They're doing it, and they'll look to continue doing it as they take on the Lamar Cardinals here in week 8. UTRGV will have had 2 weeks to prepare for the Cardinals coming off their bye week in week 8. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, that they'll definitely, as we said, that bye week came at a right time for them injury wise. It also came at a right time for them in terms of preparation because Lamar Cardinals, man, they're a load, man. They're 5-1 on the year, ranked number 18 in the nation in the FCS. Coming into this one, and like we said, 5-1 overall, 2-0 in Southland Conference play. But Ivan, I mean, when UTRGV signed up to play D1 football and to be in the Southland, I mean, this is what they signed up for. So just your thoughts as UTRGV gets ready to enter a really tough stretch here in Southland Conference play, and it all starts off with Lamar.
You said it. I mean, it's a tough stretch. This Lamar team is red hot right now. I mean, 5 straight wins. They dropped that season opener to North Texas, but since then, I mean, 5 straight wins. They beat number 4 South Dakota in their second game. Got wins against Texas Southern, Central Texas, and you mentioned 2-0 in conference play. They beat Nichols and East Texas A&M, and they're sitting there at the top of the standings with two other teams, and it's going to be a tough test for these Vaqueros. I mean, I feel like we say it every week. This is their toughest test today, but I mean, we said it. The schedule is not going to get easier once conference play starts, and this stretch over the next 3 weeks, beginning with Lamar, it's going to be one of the toughest. The toughest stretch I think that they'll face all year. I mean, you got Lamar, and then you got UIW next week at home. And then you follow it with Stephen F. Austin, who's also undefeated in conference play, is also receiving votes. Just it's going to be a tough test, and this is where we're really going to see, how really good can this Vaqueros team is. We know they can compete. We know they can hang with some of these better teams, but now you're going to have to put it up, put that to the test against some of the toughest teams in your conference, man.
Yeah, and I think UTRGV will be prepared. I mean, you couldn't ask for you and I your first ever game against a ranked opponent. comes off your bye week. You know what I mean? You've had a week to get healthy, to get right after those first 6 weeks. I mean, hey man, college football, football at any level, you take a beating. That's just the game. So for UTRGV to be able to kind of lick those wounds and heal up last week, and now get back in action, ready to roll this week. The Vaqueros as close to full health as can be, and they'll need all hands on deck as they hit the road. It's about a 6 to 6.5 hour drive out to Beaumont, where they'll be taking on the Lamar Cardinals, 3 p.m. game. So um, if there's no clouds, you know what 3 p.m. in that Texas weather in the Texas heat is like. So it'll be interesting to see what the Vaqueros look like. And of course, I mean Lamar, they play all their home games at 3 p.m. So they're used to it. And the Vaqueros, hey, you practice here in Edinburgh, Texas. We know what the South Texas weather is like. So it should be no surprise to them. But again, that'll be some adversity to overcome. And as we talked about earlier, it is Lamar's homecoming game. So UTRGV will be looking to play spoiler and go on the road and pick up another conference win. But it'll be definitely a matchup to watch. There'll be 5 Southland Conference games on the slate this weekend. And man, I mean, this UTRGV uh, uh, Lamar game might be the biggest one to watch because I mean, there's question marks surrounding UTRGV and what they're going to look like. And now here they are in another test against Lamar. They were projected to finish fourth in the Southland Conference in the preseason poll, and they finished 7-5 last year. And they returned 14 starters from last year's team. So UTRGV definitely going up against an experienced group that'll be looking to improve to 6-1, stay unbeaten in Southland Conference play. And when you look at what Lamar has been able to do, I mean, 4 of their 5 wins have been one possession wins. I know this East Texas A&M game this past weekend is 33-23. That's a 2 possessions game, but that was a defensive touchdown, kind of fluky at the end. That was after East Texas A&M was trying to lateral the ball and try to go in on make a miracle happen. It didn't happen, and Lamar ended up scooping up the ball and going in to score. But that was a one possession game until the last play of the game, and then they beat Nichols again. That against Nichols, they were tied 17-17 with 3 minutes left in the game, and then return man and receiver Kenyon Fusilier returns a punt return almost like over 80 yards for a touchdown to put Lamar on top 24-17. So this Lamar team, they've been battle tested. I mean, shoot, man, they have a win over South Dakota was number 4 at the time when they beat them in week 2. So just your thoughts on Lamar and kind of the challenges that they present and some of the numbers that they've put up here entering week 8 and the matchup against UTRGV.
I mean, statistically, their numbers don't pop out to you, but the thing is, good teams find a way to win, and this team has found a way to win all season long. Like we mentioned, 5 straight wins. By the numbers, I mean, UTRGV is putting up more yards offensively. They're allowing less yards defensively, but I mean, you look at Lamar's team, you can't just judge them off their numbers. I mean, 5 straight wins. They have found ways to win every game. You mentioned that win over East Texas A&M, that punt return or kick return punt return. I'm not sure which one it was against Nichols. I mean, it's just good teams find ways to win. So it's not going to be a cakewalk. You can't just look at the numbers and be like, oh, this is, UTRGV is going to have a dog walk. They're going to walk through the park here. But no, this team's tough, man. I mean, there's a reason that they're getting votes. There's a reason they're 5-1 and they've won 5 straight. They're finding, even without their starting quarterback, they're finding ways to win. And it's going to be one tough test on the road. You mentioned the weather already. You mentioned going on the road, and for UTRGV, it's going to be another interesting test for this UTRGV team. And I think homecoming just adds a little slap in the face, in my opinion. You usually schedule homecoming against teams you can beat. And it's kind of like, you know what, we want to go in there and ruin this for you guys because why are you scheduling us at homecoming? So I think that'll give UTRGV a little bit more of an edge. You kind of want to play that spoiler. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I mean, like I mentioned, this Lamar team is good, man. I mean, they're not putting up crazy numbers by any means, but they're finding ways to win, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and when you look at them, I mean, they're um, offensively, I mean, they're averaging 122 rushing yards a game, 149 passing yards a game. So nothing to blow you away there. But defensively, allowing 142 rushing yards and 206 passing yards. So, and UTRGV, of course, we know what they've done offensively and defensively, been able to do. I mean, they had over 400 yards in that game against Southeastern Louisiana, 450 yards, as a matter of fact, against Southeastern Louisiana. Then, of course, that Houston Christian game, that was a low scoring affair, but still over 300 yards UTRGV put up against them. So it'll be interesting to see what the Vaqueros offense can do. Eddie Lee Marburger kind of directing that offense, and he has them rolling. UTRGV averaging 48 points a game, and defensively they're allowing 14.3 points a game. And then one thing I thought was kind of interesting, when you're looking at teams' averages and this is how many points they score and how many points they give up. Yeah, Lamar, so far on the season, they've scored 143 points, given up 143 points. So they're right at they're scoring 23.8 points a game, allowing 23.8 points a game. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like against the Vaqueros, and what success UTRGV can have against them, because they've given up over 200 yards through the air, and we've seen Eddie Marburger air out the ball, and to Xavier Nolan, Tony Diaz, Ismail Smith Flores, Kyron Lee, and Tavian Cord there in the offense. So, and then of course UTRGV looks like they could potentially have running back Nathan Denny back. Of course, he was the Week 2 Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week. He returned for the game against Southeastern Louisiana, and then sat out at UTRGV's Week 6 game against Houston Christian. And the Vaqueros came out with a big win against them, and has TJ Dement and Fabian Garcia, and of course Eddie Lee Marburger really carried the load offensively to get the ground game going there. But he could potentially be back for the Vaqueros, so that should provide a boost. And then this Lamar team, they got a familiar name at the quarterback position. If you're familiar with the NFL, quarterback Aiden McCown, he's the son of NFL quarterback Josh McCown, who has spent years in the NFL with several different teams, and just a legend backup quarterback, that comes in and just does his thing whenever his number is called. And he was just, you don't play that many years in the NFL by mistake. And now one of his sons is a quarterback at UTSA, Owen McCown. This is his other son, Aiden McCown, who's played for Lamar this year. He comes in with 745 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on the year. So, yeah, it'll be this will be a really good test for UTRGV. I mean, this Lamar team has FBS guys, transfers throughout the roster. It's as do the Vaqueros. So it'll be a real test for UTRGV as they get to go on the road. So I mean, what are your, I guess, keys for the Vaqueros as they get ready to go on the road? We've seen them win one on the road before, lose one on the road. They beat Prairie View A&M, lost against Southeastern Louisiana. So what are your, I guess, keys and main things for UTRGV to not just get off to a good start, but to ultimately go on the road, have a good performance, and possibly bring a win back to the Rio Grande Valley?
I think the biggest thing is going to be start fast against Houston Christian. I mean, the both defenses played lights out, and UTRGV did come on strong at the end, but you don't want to fall behind to this Lamar team, obviously. And they did it against Prairie View. They jumped out 17-0, but then the offense kind of sputtered it there. So you want to start fast and finish strong too. You want to keep that offense going throughout the whole game. And defensively, I mean, you saw what they did against Houston Christian. They really played sound all season long, and this Lamar offense isn't going to come in and overpower you. You just got to play smart football, and keep them to, long third downs, and make them punt the ball, and just take advantage of those opportunities on offense. Eddie struggled a little last week through the air, but he got it done through the ground. And, Nate Denny coming back is going to be huge. I think you add another factor in the running game. Fabian Garcia and TJ Dement have played lights out. They made big plays in his absence. Now you add a third running back who we've seen what he's capable of. He was the player of the week earlier this season. And also you account for Eddie Lee's running abilities, and I think the ground game is going to be huge in this one. We saw the big passing plays during their non-conference schedule, especially at home to Tony Diaz, Xavier Nolan, and now this ground game. They've been going off all year season long, but I think they're going to lean into it a little more here against Lamar, and it should be interesting. But yeah, you want to see them start fast and finish strong, because I feel like they haven't put together a full 4 quarters yet offensively. Either they'll start strong or they'll finish strong. Can we put 4 full quarters against a ranked Lamar team? And if you did, I mean, you can end up leaving this one with a huge win, and possibly see your first appearance there in that top 25.
Yeah, that would be huge, man, to go on the road and just to compete. I mean, like you said, I mean, against Southeastern, they fell in a 21-0 hole early, and they were just kind of playing catch up the whole game. And after they were in that 21-0 hole, I mean, they were able to hold their own and eventually kind of match them toe to toe and everything. But hey, man, you can't fall in that hole going on the road against Lamar because it'll be tough to play catch up. And but one thing, as you mentioned, man, offense looking to start fast against Lamar. This defense, man. I know that UTRGV had a couple shutouts against some NAI opponents and played well against Prairie View A&M in that win. But I think they're coming off their best performance against Houston Christian. I mean, you give up a touchdown there in the second quarter after a goal line stand that it was like 5 or 6 plays there at the goal line, and eventually, I mean, it's eventually the defense is going to break, But I mean, they bent, man, and they gave up that one touchdown, nothing after that. Coming up with interceptions, takeaways, 6 sacks in that game. So it'll be interesting to see if the defense can carry over that momentum here into this game against Lamar and the UTRGV. I mean, we know that their defense can play. We've seen them play and play at a high level, force takeaways, and just create some havoc, just be disruptive. So that'll be key to see if the Vaqueros can do the same here against Lamar in Week 8 as the Vaqueros resume their inaugural college football season. So, I mean, Ivan, UTRGV, they start their second half of the season. It's 6 straight games, 6 straight weeks of college football, 6 straight Saturdays. You know what I mean? And Saturdays in the football, they haven't been the same, man, since August 30th. So, Ivan, just your thoughts as the Vaqueros get ready to gear up for this last stretch, and what you want to see from the Vaqueros as they, because I mean it's 6 games, 6 Southland Conference games against some good opponents. So, just what are you looking for as the Vaqueros look to close out and enter this second half of the season?
I mean, first things first, you just want to see them compete. At the end of the day, this is still a brand new team. This is still a team that just started playing football this year, and we just want to see them compete. I mean, obviously, no team wants no fan or anyone wants to see their team get blown out. So if you see your team compete on a week by week basis, especially in your first year, it's going to bring a lot of excitement going into next year. And secondly, like I mentioned, I want to see the offense kind of just play a complete game. I don't feel like we've seen that yet, and a lot of it also comes, against these NAI. They were pulling their offense in the second half, and then so I want to see that offense really start clicking, and I think they will. I think they have the pieces there, both at quarterback, running back, receivers. They got the weapons. Now it's just putting that complete game, and the defense you mentioned, they're coming off their best game, and you just want to kind of see that keep going forward. I mean, this defense is loaded, especially on the D line. You got some DBs making plays, and it's just a stacked defense, and I think they can really carry this team far, even when the offense might not be running at full strength. This defense has really stepped up. So, but at the end of the day, you just want to see this team compete and make things interesting for these other teams that might be coming in thinking, hey, this is a cakewalk. It's a new team, but they've shown time and time again we're not just going to lay over for anybody. And hey, 3 more chances to catch these guys at home if you haven't yet, guys. I mean, they got Incarnate Word, they got Nicholls State, and then they close out the year against East Texas A&M on November 22nd. So if you haven't had a chance, yeah, I know these scalpers might be, jacking up those prices, whatever, but if you can get out there, man, you got 3 more chances before this season's over to catch your vaqueros at home.
Yeah, exactly, man. We're letting people know what Valley Ball is all about, man. UTRGV football here, man. They're doing some good things. And I talked to Nick Hughes last week. He's a starting left guard. He's from the San Antonio area. I mentioned to him, I asked him about, you know what I mean. He's from the San Antonio area. Played some Houston teams while he was in high school and stuff. So, your thoughts about going back to that area, that region that he's from, and he was like, "Hey, man, I represent this region right here, the Rio Grande Valley. You know what I mean? So these guys, man, they're embracing it. They're all Valley boys now. You know what I mean? Once you suit up for UTRGV, man, hey, you're a Valley boy, and these people love you, man. I mean, they've been getting mad love everywhere they go, man. I've seen some of these guys out. You know what I mean? You go to Walmart, go to HEB, yeah, you see some of these guys just out, and it's cool to see. The support that the Rio Grande Valley has poured into these guys because, like Amari Pouncey said, he's UTRGV defensive end. He's a junior college transfer, or excuse me, from New Mexico State and Utah Tech. Coming in here, he said, "Hey, man, one of the fans told him, hey, you're our NFL team." So the Vaqueros, man, they're embracing it all. They're 5-1. Best start for a new D1 football team since Kennesaw State in 2015. So yeah, UTRGV, man, they're making it happen. They'll look to keep it up as they enter the second half of the season, and it all starts with Saturday's game, 3 p.m. in Beaumont, Texas, against the number 18 ranked Lamar Cardinals there at Humphrey Stadium. So you can follow along with our coverage of the UTRGV Vaqueros and their game against Lamar. Check everything out at rgvsports.com, and you can catch us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok, bringing you live coverage of the UTRGV Vaqueros as they continue their inaugural season. And hey, man, they're looking to go 6-1, man, 2-1 in conference play. It's crazy, Ivan. I can't believe it. But yeah, anything you want to leave the Vaqueros with as they get ready to hit the road this Saturday to take on the Lamar Cardinals?
Yeah, if you're still spending your Sundays watching the Dallas Cowboys, it's time to hang that hat up and come cheer for them Vaqueros, man. But no, in all serious, man, let's rally the Valley, man. It's been great to see all the support from everyone and kind of really get behind this team. And you see the home atmosphere, and let's just keep it going, man. Six more games, three more at home to kind of really end this season with a bang, man. I mean, you're one win away from finishing at 500, two wins away from finishing over 500, So let's just get behind this team. Like you said, they're all Valley boys now, man, and the whole Valley's behind them from this game till the last game of the season.
Yeah, it's that's one thing that's awesome, man. I mean, they love this place. You know what I mean? A lot of guys when they first get recruited, they're like, "Oh, the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, never really heard of it. What's going on there? First year program. There's really nothing to look at. You know what they've done in the past, and now here they are embracing it, embracing the grind. UTRG Vaqueros 5-1, looking to keep on building on that here in their inaugural season. So, like we said, catch all our UTRGV football coverage of the Vaqueros at rgvsports.com and on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and on YouTube at rgvsports.com. So, with that said, this has been another episode of the Volleyball Podcast talking UTRGV Vaqueros football. We'll catch you next time.